This is a resume review of an account director, and if everybody likes these types of videos, I love doing my resume reviews. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It is very helpful to me, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So let's go into this review, and I will be honest, this one's a little bit tough because I actually haven't recruited for an account director before. I've done higher level and I believe like other director levels, but not specifically account director. So take this review with a grain of salt. And in addition, as this high up position in leadership, they're not going to be looking for as many keywords, but they are going to be looking for qualifications. And that is why I have keywords and qualifications, because keywords are obviously just singular words or something that are going to help the recruiters pinpoint it. But for these higher level positions, you're going to have to essentially show why you're good. It's not necessarily a brag. I want that to be clear, but you have to show the qualification. So it's kind of like hard skills versus soft skills, but some soft skills are keywords. So for this person, they have gotten 5 applications to 2 interviews, which is great. It's not enough of a sample size to really know, but I do know that the higher up you get in company bureaucracy, the less positions there are available. So if that holds, this should be a phenomenal resume. And what we're going to be looking for, and this is where it gets weird, is essentially, and I'm going to do this out of order, the keywords are going to be social media sites. So this is more of a marketing position, and they want to know that you know like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, which I guess is Facebook and Meta, whatever, all that other social media stuff. They want to know maybe print, whatever, but they want to make sure that you are current of it. You're not going to need a ton on it. Truthfully, a skills section could work for that one. They just want to know that you've touched it before. But the bigger issue that they are going to want is they want somebody who is going to build a team. So you need to showcase not just that you succeeded at the job, but that you mentored others and allowed them to succeed, and you created a cohesive environment for a team. So this is a weird one where you have to put your own accomplishments, but you have to make the others' accomplishments also your own because you allowed it to happen, even if directly you were not directly responsible. So how good are you at hiring people? And let's look at this. Also, client stakeholders, management, a lot of soft skills. So I'm going to be looking to it with that lens. Hopefully that is correct. And this is the few cases for this high up where I actually think a summary sentence is fine, because it's a little thing that keys people in. It doesn't really work for IC positions, I think, but for high level management, this does. Assuming this one's right. So, highly experienced in driving operational safety, sales growth, strategic account management for Fortune 500 companies, with expertise in vendor management, cost reduction, and sales across targets. This I think is okay. I don't know if you need to say highly experienced. Most of them were looking for about 7+ years. So I think you could just simplify this down a little bit. So just like 7+ years of driving operational safety, sales growth, and account management for Fortune 500 companies, which is great. That's good. They like that, with expertise in those things. But I think this should be shorter, or alternatively start with a brag. Boosted company revenue by securing high-level deals with John Deere. I guess we are rivals. I worked for Caterpillar before. Contracted people out to Caterpillar. So with John Deere, Cena, Petrobras, and Northrop, this is fine. Here's the thing. I think these could be combined, right? So 7+ years in driving operational safety for Fortune 500 companies, such as John Deere, Cessna, and Petrobras, and Northrop. And then which would save you space. Demonstrated leadership. So you don't have to say demonstrated. You just said led our sales performance, earning multiple VIPs, ensuring grace years, so closure, combination by doing blah, blah, blah. Exceeded sales quotas, achieving 145% target multi-million-dollar pipelines, proving with success. Yeah, so why is this at the bottom of this? This should be at the top. This should be at one of the top ones. Like, I don't want to get through here to do this. This is a star right here. This is great. I love that. So, again, I'm not a fan of keyword things like this, but for high-level management positions, that is sort of an exception. So, global real estate competing with fashion, that's fine. I don't think you need the formatting there. Operational efficiency, vendor management, elevated upper, but integrating it, that's fine. Enhanced safety, I think mitigated operation consulting costs, but yeah, these are fine. Insured, these are great. Again, I think you just need this probably a little higher up, and the formatting in general should be a little bit different. I think you should use my formatting, and then just under, instead of education, maybe put a really quick skill section, just to show that you have it. And I think you need to add sort of like social media to that. So if that's the type of account manager you're going for, again, not one I've recruited for, but overall this is really solid, truthfully. Yeah, I like a lot of it. And here it is again: customer acquisition, lead generation, account monitoring, achieve 1 rank as county director. Yeah, perfect. So I think there's some slight formatting issues, and the issue with formatting, and why I'm going to be particular on this, is when you have this blue color and the black and the white, your eyes go back and forth, and you really want people to read this, because this is a position where keywords are not as important as qualifications, and there is a lot of text here, and I think it should be simplified just a little bit. But overall, you've got the right idea. It's just, you got to make it a little bit easier to understand, because someone is, for this position, I don't think they're going to take 30 seconds, but you want to make it a little easier to understand. So use a clearer formatting. I think you need to use some of mine, but otherwise I can see how this would pass based on, essentially the things that I've seen. I would add maybe something about how you built a team and led them to success. That might be a missing, but otherwise I think this is fine. So yeah, I like it, especially. So here's another thing: is this is not typed like the same type of job. You may want maybe 3 bullet points here, and then go directly to the account management job, but that's going to be depending on how well you do with the other stuff. So overall, I think this is solid. Just needs a little bit of tightening on the clarity, but I can definitely see you moving forward with this for this position. So let's move on to the next resume. For this resume, we are looking for a software engineer who is a fresher. I don't know if other people call them freshers. Fresher to me is at least somebody who is going to graduate or just graduated and is looking for a job. I hope that is a terminology other people use. So they did not tell me what type of software engineer they are. And in this review, what I always say is, if you don't show me what kind you are in a software engineer, I need you to punch me in the face with how obvious of what you are. Full stack, front end, back end, and then the language type for back end, as Java and Python are going to have different stacks. So I want this person to punch me in the face with how obvious it is, and I am super, super tired. So this is going to be how that's going to work. Also, let's put the music on. I forgot to do that. So let's look at this. This is too long for all of this. This is important. You should keep your education, but I do not need 6 lines for it. It should really be 2. Languages. This is fine. Sorry about the sound. Whoop, wrong way. Yeah, there we go. So languages. Again, C, C++, Java, JavaScript, Python. You just listed all of them. Hiring managers hate that. They hate that. They absolutely do not like that. If you list all of the languages and you just graduated, they think you're screwing with them. I can't type any of these, so it doesn't matter to me, but I know managers hate that. So this is largely worthless, although admittedly you kept it to 3, and this is clearer, the rest of this, but not all of this is as needed. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this skill section. I don't think it's helping you. Led complete redesign over some website.com, modernizing user interface. Where's your tech stack? It doesn't count if it's here. Managers want it to be in here. Recruiters want it to be in here. I don't care. All I'm seeing is SQL and Python. I don't know what you are. I assume this is backend because it's SQL and Python. Although it could have been maybe full stack, but I don't know. I'm going to guess backend. And SQL and Python is not just enough. Just Hindi language for network. Again, I don't see anything I need. None of these are keywords. There are some jobs that are qualification heavy and some jobs that are keyword heavy. IT in general is always going to be keyword heavy, just by its very nature. Project agile metrics. Okay. Architect using React and Java Spring for tag up project metric. This is a fine sentence. I need that. This is a phenomenal, but I don't think a lot of people are going to scroll down this far. This is how I want you to write your sentences more. Architect a full stack application using React, and Java Spring Boot for a Taiga project. This is fine. I'm using Docker and CID. This is also fine. Why? These are great sentences. Why are these at the bottom? Just, this is how you write them. This entire thing, and here's my problem, except for 2 lines of education, I don't have anything I need to move you forward with in this entire section. It goes down to here. This is solid. Write your bullet points like this. I don't care about 80% reduction in load time. I'm sorry, I don't. I've not met a manager's like, well, you know what? I'm glad we moved them forward because of an 80% reduction in load time. They say, hey, how many years experience do you have with Python and SQL and JavaScript for a full stack position? That's usually what it does. So please do that. There's no way I can move this forward. I mean, like, if IT wasn't a competitive market, I could move this forward in like 2018, maybe. Maybe 2019, maybe. But yeah, you absolutely need those keywords for tech. It is critical. So, and your formatting's a little off, but it doesn't really matter because the keywords aren't there. Except for down here, this is fine. I just, look, if you get 100 resumes, they may not read past here. Let alone down to here, let alone down to here. So that's what I hope I'm trying to say with this, is it needs to be up front and center. It needs to be in the bullet points. And that's why this technical skill section doesn't work, is because you list all of them and I don't have them here. So yeah, please fix those issues, resubmit, because IT is super crowded. You get like 100 people in 30 minutes or less. It's brutal right now. You have a ton of competition, especially as a fresher. So let's move on to the next resume. For this resume, we have a software engineer intern, which again makes sense. Like, people just graduated and IT is in a downturn. We're going to get a lot of software people. I don't only do software, but there's a lot of software engineers that are looking for work or internships right now. So as an intern, specifically for bachelors, which they do have, they are going to look for a basic knowledge of the tech stack, which again, if you're full stack, TypeScript, JavaScript, if you're backend, Python, Django, or Java, and it's been a bit since I did Java, I forgot the other libraries or whatever they're called, REST APIs and SQLs are good. And then the ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism, because quite frankly, a lot of the software engineer resumes that get sent, it's all on that. And then they interview them and the manager's like, they screamed at me during the interview. So soft skills are very important in a resume, even especially for an internship. Now, a resume that will get you an internship is not the same resume that will get you a job. I want to be very clear on that. So don't use the formatting things for the actual thing, but it works for internships. So first off, this does not need to be this long. This should be 1 line or 2 lines max. Also Python, Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, and C. Managers do not like it when you list these all, especially when you don't have a lot of experience, because they think you're lying. They said no one is that good in all those skills. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I have acid reflux. But yeah, Python, JavaScript, and TypeScript would be fine. Java and whatever the other ones for Java are, and also you wanted to add HTML and CSS to the JavaScript, and C, C+, and .NET would be fine, because I think .NET is for C, but you don't want all of them. So I don't think this is useful, and here's sort of my problem, is immediately almost all of this is not useful. You do need your education, but you shouldn't have 5 lines of it. Also, you have applied to 90 positions and not gotten an interview yet, which is not good. Although, admittedly, again, November, December is kind of chaos for that thing, so you can't always trust the metrics during that time. But facilitated the adoption of Git. What? Okay. Can't you just say used Git to create a centralized repository? You don't need to use CorpoSpeak. CorpoSpeak is actually bad in a resume, except maybe for higher-end manager positions. But that's iffy. And guiding the team in pushing code, improving collaboration and code management. Collaborate with clients. This is almost good. I don't mean to be mean with that. You're kind of missing things from these sentences. So first off, not a huge fan of your formatting. This is fine. These formatting is fine. I'm talking about below it. There's too much bolding. It takes away from everything else. But let's focus more on the bullet points, because you can just look at my website to see how to actually format it, which is not going to take a lot. It's mainly just unbolding a bunch of stuff. But like used Git, to create a centralized repository where I guided our team to push code, which allowed us to do X, right? That would be better, including with maybe one or two other languages in there, because this almost gives me what I need, right? I want to know how you also help the team. And we're not necessarily looking for leadership. You can just work on it. But like collaborated with clients, just say worked. I don't like the word collaborated with. It's so fancy. Again, boring basic is how you kind of want to write a resume. Worked with clients to refine UI, which you can actually use UI, UX for this maybe. This one might be a little outside my domain. So just so worked with clients to blah, blah, blah designs using Figma and blank, which got kudos from here's the thing, this brag doesn't really work. Increasing customer satisfaction is fine, but I want to know how you knew that, right? Did you get a kudos? Like if seriously, if you just said worked with clients to refine their interface using X and Y, where after finishing, they sent me an email thanking me. That's a fine brag. But increasing customer satisfaction and reducing development time by 50%. That's so random. I mean, development time by 50% is fine, but I don't have a metric for it. So develop a front end as part of the project, create an e-learning platform as part of using, that seems formatted wrong. Focus on design and user experience. Again, this is not bad. It's just it's hard for me to even how to change these because you corporatized your language so much, and it's not the correct use of the corporatized language as well. The languages I know are English and Corpo speak. But this doesn't really sound like how you would speak corporatized either. So I think you need to simplify these, add a little bit more of the tech stack into these. And then I want something basic about how you worked with the other people, right? Like worked with 3 other internships where we did X and Y. You are an intern. You are not expected to be the best of the best, except for master's internships, which is different, but this is a bachelor's. So applied token. Yeah, I don't know what any of these are. Yeah, this doesn't matter. NLP does matter. That can matter. Develop machine learning, that's fine. Again, so here's the problem. The ones that show the keywords don't have the keywords. And the brags that show that you worked well with others don't really show that you worked well with others. You're almost there, though. I think you just need to change the language a bit. I don't think I could move you forward really with an internship because it's very competitive, but I think you're very close. Like if this was a grade, this is like a D minus. Like it's not like the worst ever, but there's definitely stuff you need to improve to get to the next level. So, and because you've had about 90, I can see that's probably why, although November, December is kind of weird with that. So anyway, make those changes, resubmit, and let's move on to the final resume of this video. Final resume of this video, but not the stream. We have a programming intern. I assume that's like software. I've not heard that terminology before. But yeah, if it is a software engineer resume, we're going to go with that because I took a very quick glance and I think this is a software engineering resume intern. Maybe it's outside of the United States and they call it something different over there. That's understandable. But at least in the US, I think this is just going to be a software engineering intern. SWE could also be, but people can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That's fine. I'm always interested to learn more. So we're going to be looking exactly for what we were looking for in the last one. Skills, capable of working independently. Don't just say that. You have to prove it. Passionate about, like, just don't just say I can do X. You have to show how you do X to prove it. Passionate about programming. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. I guess this is okay. Admittedly, these are going to be the right ones. C+.NET, SQL. AWS is fine, but like this is not how it's working, especially for an internship. Core programming languages, this formatting is awful. Oh, Canada. They're in Canada. No, this is still a software engineering intern. I've looked at a couple of Canada recs. So this just should still be, I think this is just a C+ or C# type of internship. Application visual, yeah, again, you don't need this. So this formatting is all over the place, which is very difficult to read. And the reason I care about formatting is because in actuality, when a recruiter does this, they have 15 seconds to look at your resume. That's all they have. As an example, I had 35 different positions at one time. I filled them enough to make very high regard, so my managers liked me, at least I hope they did. And I still had 35. 35 was my average, and those were in IT and management and different versions of IT and bioengineering and a oleonucleotide scientist, other scientist, data scientist. So I had 35 different requisitions at the same time that were all in different ones. And when you do that, you really only get about 15 to 30 seconds on a resume. And as a software engineer intern, it's super competitive. You can post an internship position, you're going to get like hundreds of people within a couple of hours. So you don't need to, you're going to find what you're looking for, So I think they just see this, they'd see the formatting, and this would waste most of their seconds. They have 15 seconds. It doesn't see it. So now we can see this. Again, this part is fine. Developed a scar schema. ETL could be one. SQL could be one. Again, this is not what we'd be looking for. Maybe Git is. Yeah, none of this would work. I honestly think you need to just redo this whole resume. There is a controversial thing, is people say you shouldn't have your hobbies on it. I think it's okay. As long as that's at the bottom, if they scroll all the way that down, that's fine. But you are looking for an internship position, and you have a 2-page resume. Length of resume, it kind of matters, but it really only matters the first half. You should not have longer than a single... Yeah, you should not have longer than a single page for an internship. And I'm not finding it. So I'm going to need you to redo all of this. Use my formatting. You're going to make sure you're going to add a basic knowledge of the tech stack. You're going to show that you can work well with others, take direction and criticism, and then we can do it. And you're not going to write it like this. The formatting makes it hard to find what I need, and in a real case scenario, I would look at this, I would try, I can't find it, this is not what the manager wants. They want to see how you used it, not just that you had it. So I wouldn't be able to find it here, no. I wouldn't be able to find it here, no. I just know that you have SQL. Then I see here, but I don't see how you used it, and then if I submitted this to the manager, they'd probably decline it. So that is it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and if you need more help, stop by my stream, which at the current time, I'm still streaming. Depends on when the video comes out, but thank you very much, and I appreciate all of you being here. I just really want to make sure people get jobs, because I want to be the harshest critic you ever face. I want everything after me to be easy, because there are real world consequences for not being able to do this, and that sucks. So I will see you all next time.